Hey everybody, Mekahippie here. I'm playing a little bit of Minecraft and I just found this wonderful seed. Got a got a quite a large village it seems, located on an island, some cows and their tree. Um Flowers everywhere, gorgeous place, some hay bales over there. And so it seems like a great place for me to kind of settle in here. So while I'm looking around, I wanted to tell you guys about a little bit of tidbit of history that I found about one Benito Mussolini. So you may just know him as, the infamous Italian dictator. But before that, he had quite the interesting run. So Ireland wasn't the only one hit by. What are you doing up there, man? Get down. Not safe. Ireland wasn't the only one hit by a potato blight. It hit Italy too. It wasn't as bad. It didn't affect the crops nearly as badly. A lot of hay here. They kind of had a better a better economy at the time, so the populace wasn't hit as hard as it was in Ireland, but it was a problem nonetheless. And Benito Mussolini had a bit of a plan to combat this. He was going to work with the Italian Ministry of Forestry and Food Policies, I believe. And they weren't formed until 1946 officially, but they had mechanisms in place to deal with crises like this. And their whole plan was they were going to genetically engineer the existing potato crops to become resistant to this disease. And so they did this. They gathered the scientists, the funding. It was an important enough problem that it needed to be dealt with, and they started to deal with it. Turtle, neat. And there were a lot of failures. This sort of science was not. Look at him. Look at his face. Sort of science wasn't exact at the time. So there was a lot of fumbling around. But eventually, they did succeed in creating a potato that not only was resistant to the disease, but grew faster and larger than the previous potatoes. Now, it was a bit goofy looking. You may not even recognize it as a potato as we know it. It was long, it was skinny, it was not potato shaped for the most part, but it worked. It fed you. It was everything you need out of a potato, right? And so they distributed these seeds to farmers, and pretty soon the crops were taken off. They had all the potatoes they could ever need. And after that, that was only stage one of his plan. He got with the Italian Navy. They were having some supply issues, caused by this potato famine. And so it was easy for him to work out a deal with them, and that's exactly what he did. He talked them into giving him his very own ship, and that was exactly what he needed. So once he had that, he took command of it. Um, Quickly took an assessment of what they had, and yeah, it was pretty bad. Um, exactly like the Navy had told him they had potato problems. So he took his hey kitties took his newly grown potatoes, took them all, loaded them up on the ship, and set sail. And that's it. That's how Benito Mussolini went around and created the first dictatorship.